Sorry, I don't know what happened. I think it may just hit the time. This 1 hour timeline. So unfortunately I wasn't able to save any of those. Okay. I think that's okay. It's alive, I guess. Next time I will try to leave earlier so I can save the 1 hour the thing. Sorry, I just got cut off. Welcome back if you're continuing. So I was writing this. Now we're doing the last alphabet. U, entrance, press, do the fishing. Okay, you can do A, E, I, O. Let's say I want to do the O. O for this, I guess I won't, but I will use this. Okay, so this may not work for O. The reason is obvious, because when you drop it down, it looks like an A, right? So no, we don't want that. We don't want to cause confusion. So I'll bring it up instead. Alright? If that's an O. Now the last page that we're going to do is letter V. Okay. So, first of all, you have an overturn. Lift, come down, lift, come up. It's basically a compound curve, and I will press and exit. That's a basic V. Make sure when you exit, it is still on an implied oval. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, please type in. Your writing so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Chloe. You can do that too. Now let's go up. Curve by pressing like that. Okay. Same as the A that we were learning. I hope you can see the similarity, right? So it's just for V, we bring it higher. We'll bring it up. The next one, again, now I'm talking less because you notice all this is the same. I think one thing about the V, it's important, okay, if I'm repeating myself. So you want to exit. Let's start again here. I don't like this V. Now the importance of a V, you have come up on the slant and curve to your right, lift, coming down, lift, coming up, lift. Now notice that three of them will contain the same spacing, equal, okay, and they're on the slant, right? So you want to come up and curve to your right. This stroke, you will it's quite specific. You see, you want to have a pointed on your left corner and ending the point here. We'll talk you through more in the May classes for the classic style, okay? Each little strokes to that combine that are components of your engrossed script. Okay, so we want to make sure. You press here. Coming up, relax. Add pressure. Like that. Now, moving on. V with the heart shape. Okay. There is another way to write a V, which you may have seen, which is like a U. You notice the entrance stroke? Just go right into this point, okay? So it's a curve. Like that, right? So the bottom part of a B, basically. If you think about a B, it is the bottom part. Now, I personally think it's a lot more nicer when you can use a V like that. Because this is much softer, okay? So you can use both, but this is a better for flourishing. Better option for flourishing. Now, let's do curve, come down, come up. If you can press very precisely, the other way you can do is you can draw this shape out first. And then you come back and press in it. Okay. You can draw it. Like that. The next one. This is a large exiting flourish. Prepare your arm to go to a lovely S curve. Like that. So this is the line of universal beauty. And see the implied oval. And this is the part. And currently the slant is sitting on here. Okay. All right. The very last V. Lift, come down, up. You can press up, oval. Prepare and bring all the way, adding pressure. Oh, sorry, the ink just ran out. So this little dot is the ink. I'll draw one more time. Now make me think about if I do a B. Because I mentioned that V and B has the same bottom, right? So you can technically use this as a flourish. I bring this higher, this line a little bit higher, so it's not too close to the waistline. Okay, yeah, like that. I quite like this. So this is the lowercase v. Do you guys have any question? Now the last part is I'm gonna try, if you can see, and I will try to write it out. Okay. So since we have already passed the 1 hour, okay, I might use the same paper. So just want to say hello. Now this is the current situation. This is the studio. We're quite lonely without you guys. I'm sitting right here. Kalo just go to bed. And Dickie is working. Hi, Dickie. Yay, hi there. Cool. Sorry, being silly. Okay. Do you guys have any words that you want me to write? Things ending with ow or... I mean, I guess that doesn't matter so much because now we have covered so many alphabets. From the capital to lower cases. I'm happy to write some names if you want me to. I'll try to talk you through my thinking behind because it's also quite nice to talk about it. Thank you for your kind words. Is it how I call your name? Young? Sorry. Okay, now maybe I will just kickstart. I'll do Monday. I guess it's quite easy with the Y because when you're thinking about writing, I think it's helpful when you put the words down, especially for beginners. M, well, capital we can do tons of flourishing. O, it's on the X height, so you don't want to touch it so much. N as well. D have a ascender stroke, and Y also has a descender stroke. So these are the alphabet that you can start adding the flourishing. Now I'm using a more approach of less is more approach. I'm not going like super crazy with all the flourishing because it's a lot more manageable. Okay, so I'll write this before I answer your question. So M. Now one of the M I love using is this one. Okay, I think with this, now when I come down, I want to make sure this triangle, it's parallel, it's the same spacing to this triangle. We're talking about the negative space. Now obviously you can bring it down with the fishy as well, O and D. So maybe I'll do that. Because I just thought about, is there any descender? There's nothing because O and D won't be affecting. Okay, so mon. Now with the D, you have the descender and also there are some spaces here. You can think about doing an S curve to fill up the space. If I do an oval here, it may look like two fishes swimming, which is not so pretty. So what I meant is if I think about doing this, sorry, it's just broke. Okay. So if I do this, do you see this is the same going on? It won't be so pretty. So you want diversity. So I'll do the S curve and come down and do the A. Okay, now with the Y, I would probably try to keep it here. Okay, if I make it more dramatic, then it's like a big thing going on. So I would probably just bring it like that. add some decoration, you can add a synthetic shade here. I will remove that later. So this is how I'll write that Monday. I think what will be helpful as well is I will use a plain paper. So Dickie, do you mind passing me a cream paper without the printing? Because the other thing is when we're writing flourishing words, I personally think it's really hard to see all the lines clearly when there are lots of guideline. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna grab a piece of guide paper. Currently, zoom out, I'm using a 5mm X height. My personal preference is 5mm. I think a lot of other calligraphers the same. 4mm is kind of okay. It's a little bit smaller, but I won't go anything smaller than 4mm X height. Sorry, I'm just putting the magnets. Okay, so that's what I do. I have this lined paper underneath. The great thing about these paper, it's still slightly see-through. I think you can see it. Okay, so the question that we have, just quickly scroll through. Sorry. How do you think where to put the flourishes, and how much small or how elaborate? Now this question is quite broad because it really depends on the words that you're writing. So this is the exercise where I'm actually trying to tell you what I'm thinking behind when I do flourishing, and how small and elaborated, and also depends on the aim, the goal, right? So for example, if I'm writing names on students folder, then I'll do some flourishing to make the name looks pretty. I would try to make a name with flourish that is well balanced, not too much going on, so that the students can still read their own name. So it really depends on the goal that you're using, the aim, right? So for example, if it's a menu, for menu, if you think about, a lot of times you want this, the appetizers, the main course, or the dessert, all these keywords to pop out. So I'll probably use flourish on those words, and then the details of the menu would just be a type font or very simple classic style without any flourishing. Does that help you? So I'm gonna write Priyanka. Priyanka. Okay, so maybe I'll write Priyanka. Okay, so it's PR. Sorry, I'll just write it out. Priyanka. Nice. So your name will have for sure immediately the Y, and the K has the lovely descender and ascended stroke right here. Now others, there's not, but maybe you can try something with the N, and I'll show you what we can do here. Now with the P, okay, with the P, I use the same as the M that we just start. You can bring it above. Okay. With this, all the intersection, just be careful there's no thick lines on thick lines, meaning when I'm entering here, I want to make sure it's entering with a thin hairline. All right. Now, because the guideline is not so prominent, you can see the writing better. Okay, now with the Y, I can either connect it by exiting upwards, so which I would do it like that. Now with the N, I thought maybe we can do something like that. The K, I might do oval here. Okay, now with the ending, then I have to think about whether I want to make it a little bit dramatic or just keep it simple. I think in this case, because there are a lot of things going on at the moment, if I have a dot, it will be here. So I would just exit in a simple way. Now I wouldn't just do a fish because then it's too heavy on the base. I'll probably keep something here like that. Now I'm thinking, if I keep adding, there are possibility because I can extend this line. I don't know whether it looks too busy in a way. I think this is quite interesting. Personally, if I'm writing students' name, I probably don't add this because it's a little bit lot going on. But there are many variations. So this is a Spencerian P. I'm still using the guide. I can bring it. So this that. Maybe that felt a little bit, so I'm a bit quiet, just thinking as I'm writing. Okay, like now what we can try is, well, this line, I'm just thinking whether I should extend it like that. Okay, so when you're doing this, you can see all these oval. Sorry, I'm writing on it directly, but I want to show you these are the horizontal ovals, right? This is an inclined or at a slanted oval. This is also slanted here. Okay, noted that it's like slanted that way. Because when you're doing this, you can see where the orientations of your oval, and it helps. Now this, it's inclined or slanted oval, you can call it. I won't draw on this, but there is a large implied oval here. This is also an oval. There's oval, tons of ovals. Maybe this is a little bit empty here. Yeah, sorry, I've drawn this. Now it's really hard to compare. I think I like both in a way. It's quite simple, but at the same time you got a lot of flourishing going on. Okay, no problem, thank you. So any other words that you want me to write or name? I'll do one more before we say goodbye. I'm just going through the Ginger. Oh, cool. That's a cool name, Ginger. Oh, cool word. So with the G, letter G, I usually okay, this is not very nicely done. The reason I say that is if I hit this on here, it's better. Can I retry? Okay. Let's just keep it simple. Okay. Now I will fit right here. When I come in, it's a perpendicular crossing. This is G. Can be like that. Then I probably make use of the space on the top. Okay. Now with this, oopsie daisy, there's a little gap. It's okay. Well, if I connect them, you see they are not on the same line because I probably added pressure and then it just skipped through. But I will try to do this. Just follow the curve. Okay, it's not perfectly done. Now with these, don't try to over touch up. Sometimes just one or twice, and I will probably stop there. Yeah. That's Ginger. Okay, I got Melody. I'll write Melody as well. Also an M. So it's letter M. Now if I use the same, there is another one which is slightly tricky. I'm using a pencil first to show you. So that's kind of like a Spencerian M. Okay, let's try that. Bring it back, do a loop. Okay, and then now because it's a Spence, with this coming, I didn't add pressure on this stroke. And with the Spencerian, you notice the M has the height goes diagonally like that. Melody, sorry I didn't write this out, but E, L, it will go nicely. O, D. Maybe this, I'll just keep a simple loop like that rather than crossing this rather than this style, rather than like that. Okay, because it will crash onto all these here, which I don't want. And then we do the Y. Now with the Y, this is a little bit tricky. Like that, maybe. And sometimes I keep thinking if I come up here and bring the line, it may be too long. So if I bring this and then I try to curve to the shade go here. I wanted to let you see, but this is such a long curve, it won't look too pretty in a way. So, well, you can always rewrite it and just try things out. Maybe make it smaller. Notice I'm making the oval a little bit smaller. That's a bad one. Sorry. Let's redo this. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh well, let's start again. Now the ink is wet there. Let's grab a piece of tissue. Take care. Okay, I will rewrite. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll get the lights on. I'm gonna just use this method for the capital stem. So E, L, I can drop the flourishing down. Okay, so that's what we were trying to do, right? We have L, O, with all this crossing. Now this is closer. Okay, so I can bring it all the way. I would have done it differently by bringing more of a oval that way. Okay, but the idea is it's bringing these closer and it's less like a long drippy line here, right? Yeah, so we'll be like that. Thank you guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. It happens sometimes, you know, if you just feel like, okay, redoing and just redo. It's just practice, and also it helps your brain to keep thinking in a way. But if you're still in the stage like more of a beginner in a way that you haven't memorized all the variations, please don't worry so much, because this is all from writing and practicing a lot. When I remember my very beginning stage, when I really want to improve my flourishing, I found it very difficult even to do a simple, you know, like let's say this stroke, okay, this stroke, or this one, the curve. They're very similar, right? But notice they are different movement. This is going down, this is kind of going, well, both of them going down, but the direction is different. And I remember sitting in the restaurant and just like using my finger, trying to figure out and trying to memorize it. Now I really don't have to think so hard because it becomes a reflex, like a muscle memory. So trust me, it's just by practicing and enjoying it. You know, having a method really helps. You know, so for example, think about this, except flourish can apply to what other alphabets, so you can enlarge your vocabulary, more like a mental vocabulary or dictionary. Okay, so just take some time and allow yourself, don't try to rush through this. And if you like anyone's work online, the easiest way is maybe screenshot some photos, you know, copy their work by practicing, but don't post it because it's not yours. By learning, especially what I recommend, better way is just go back to the archive, the old exemplar, and download them online. You know, you can, I've talked about this before and I won't mind mentioning it again. So you can go to a website called IamPath. So this is iampath.com. You can go to, they have a rare book section which is on the bottom right. Click onto it. You can take the different category. You can select the ornamental penmanship or Spencerian. So if you want to, I'll write it down for you. So you can select ornamental. We call it OP, ornamental penmanship, or Spencerian, however you call it. Okay, you can tick the boxes and it will show you like all these old exemplars, and you can download it. I have quite a few books on my iPad and, you know, my phone. Whenever I'm, you know, on the bus, I will read through it. So just by looking, it will really help you. Okay, this is a perfect website. There are a few more, but I think to start, this is a great place to start, and I hope really help you. Now, thank you so much. I'm gonna come back on Wednesday night Hong Kong time from 8:30, and I don't know what time it will end, depends on how much I want to talk. And I will be demonstrating in May the classic engrosser script, the classic style. So back to the basic. And as soon as the digital copy sheets and the printed versions are ready, I'll put it on my Instagram and let you know. Okay? And if you're lastly interested, once again, you can support me by going to the shop.kalomakeart.com and purchase the downloadable digital copy sheets. It's 150 Hong Kong dollars. And you can use it for life, because once you have it, you can print anytime. You can, you know, like use it for yourself anytime and however many times you want. Okay. Lastly, thank you again. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Yes, the bookmark. It's very cute because it is our own design. Kalo make our bookmark. It has an oblique pen and it says Kalo Make Art KMA. So you can see all these also on the on the shop as well. Yeah, they're the different designs. They're very cute. I like them a lot. Okay, thank you. Bye guys.